Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about myths and archetypes. Let's look at Claude Lévi-Strauss. He is widely considered to be the father of modern anthropology. He was deeply inspired by Saussure. Now Saussure, as you remember, spoke about language and he compared language to a sign system. Now similarly, Lévi-Strauss, since he was working in anthropology, he compared language to culture and he found the concept of structuralism, which is basically the search for underlying rules and patterns of thought in all forms of human activity. But don't worry, we won't be getting into structuralism. We will explore two of his concepts, myths and archetypes. Now, the meaning of the word myth here is like a culturally specific narrative, like a story. We are not using the word myth as is used in common parlance, like something is a myth and that is not true. Here, the word myth basically means a kind of a story or a narrative. Now, Levi Strauss says that these myths are not irrational, there are rules behind them. Now, these myths they allow us to understand the underlying structure of a culture. So basically, whether you look at the Indian culture, you look at Greek mythology, you look at Roman mythology, you will see that there are certain common themes which flow through most of these myths. So, what are the common themes in these myths? They usually talk about stories of creation, divinity, religion. They talk about the meaning of existence and death, natural phenomena. So, if you look at stories from the Bhagavad Gita, or if you look at many stories from the Greek and Roman mythologies, also, they talk about creation, they talk about divinity, they talk about life and death. So, these are the common things that these myths deal with. Now, we need to remember that these myths they are very different from legends. We are not talking about historical characters. We are not talking about an Akbar or a Shivaji. This is more in the supernatural realm. Also, myths differ from fables, so they are less concerned with moral didacticism. If you notice some stories from Greek mythology, gods seem to behave however they want to. Even in Indian myths, if you remember the story of the Samudra Manthan, gods have cheated demons in the Manthan story and they took the elixir of life from there. So let's see how they are relevant today and what is being done today. So for example, in Christianity you have the myth of the lost paradise. Even today people use these concepts and these myths because it gives them hope that by living a virtuous life today you can earn a better life after death. Similarly, if you look at the myth of the golden age, it gives people hope that these leaders, like here you have Obama's campaign which was basically built on hope, or Modi's campaign which was built on the myth of Achhe Din. One very common theme found in most of these myths is the concept of the mythological hero. He seems to pervade all human cultures. So, whether you have Ram, or whether you have the Pandavas, or you have other Greek heroes, in modern times you have Batman and Spider Man, and usually the hero fights a villain. Usually, he is very reluctant to become a hero like Spider Man or maybe Harry Potter, but it is their destiny to become a hero. Even if you look at modern examples of Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, what we have done is that we have taken real world characters and we have put them into a whole mythological concept of the hero. Now, to summarize, myths are imaginative, creative stories that address the big issues such as origin, purpose of the group, the source of moral authority, and fate of individuals when they die. All human groups, big and small, told stories and enacted rituals that connected individuals in a group to each other and the world around them. Myths are among the most creative of human constructs and accompanied by music, dance, paintings, etc. And they are still very, very relevant in modern times. Please join me in part 2 of this video to learn more about archetypes. I'm going to say goodbye here.